Hey you guys, so today has been like a really rough day. I couldn't feel more terrible inside right now. My toddler, he's not officially talking and completely, it's hard to completely understand everything he's saying. I feel like the majority of the time I can understand him, but we have our, milestones and things like that we're gonna, we're trying to maneuver through. I was getting him ready for bed. It's about 8 o'clock, and well, it's 8:11 now. I put him in his room. He kept pointing at the TV, and so I kept saying, what do you want to watch? And I kept trying to change the thing, or the TV, and trying to figure out what it was. Well, then he came in here into my room. I couldn't figure it out, so he came into here in my room, and I said, oh, do you want to watch TV in here? And he said yes, and I said, no, you're gonna have to watch TV in your room. I know some of you already, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe you let your toddler go to bed watching TV or whatever. But I don't care what any of you have to say, because that's not even why I feel bad. I kept explaining to him that's not what, he could not do that, because he's got to be a big boy and sleep in his own room. So I put him back in his room, and he kept saying, he kept pointing at the TV, and I kept putting him in a timeout because I wasn't sure. I kept thinking he was throwing a fit. So he kept pointing at the TV like, I want that, and from what I was getting from it was, I want this show, my room, to play in my bedroom. So I kept telling him no. So for about 10 minutes, we were like going back and forth. He would go on a timeout, I'd come back in and say, okay, are you done, blah, blah, blah. He'd say yes, and we'd walk back out, and he'd start doing it all over again. And it was just, for like 10 minutes this was going on, and it was just like, oh my goodness. Tim just popped in my head, do you want Paw Patrol? He immediately stopped crying and said, mm-hmm. And I just felt terrible because, and I sat there and I felt completely terrible because as soon as I put Paw Patrol on, I mean, he's in there and he's out like a light. And I sat there for a minute, I put Paw Patrol on, and I sat there with him for a minute, and I apologized to him, and I told him I was really sorry for, just not being able to always understand him and not realizing how hard it can be on his side of it to want to explain something to somebody but they're not understanding you. And I told him I would try harder, and I think, no matter how hard of a day it was for me, how just crazy it was, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, he still needs that someone to just slow down and listen and truly try to put the pieces together of what he is pointing at or trying to get out right now. So it's okay to admit as parents, I think, when we fail or we screw up, we blow it all the time. And today was one of those days for me. I absolutely blew it. And I just have to pick up the pieces and do better tomorrow. Bless all you moms who are running through that stage where your toddler is in the barrier of trying to explain to you what he's feeling and what is going on. Bless you all. Bye, guys.